Hey guys, I'm Derek. This is 4 in Tune. Before I got started on today's very easy video, honestly, I wanted to just let you guys know that I did a little research with Vin on this, and I ended up finding out that I do have the Ison transmission in here, and I've got the 410 rear end coupled with the Mega Cab and the four-wheel drive on this sucker. It has a max towing of a little over 30,000 pounds and about 5,400 pounds of payload on that rear axle and a fifth wheel. So if I wanted to tow a fifth wheel, the pin weight way above. So I'll drop in a chart from Chrysler dictating that with this truck anyway. You know what? I just realized my goal is to prevent most of these other YouTubers who go around salvaging cars that haven't been started in 20 or 30 years. Channels like Vice Grip Garage, love that show. Derek, I think his name is, outstanding. Very good entertainer. Can't say enough nice things about him. But him, maybe, well, I guess Thunderhead V8, and I don't know. You know the guys. They're the usual suspects on YouTube that salvage all these vehicles. Anyway, the point is, my job is to make sure that none of these vehicles make it to their channel or their kids' channel in 30 or 40 years. I want to keep these things on the road as long as I can, to include the two over there in the shed, the 84 Fiero and a 91 Chrysler TC by Maserati. In fact, even my Range Rover in the garage. And I'll show you the last ones. I am not only partial to four-wheel vehicles. I am a huge motorcycle fanatic as well. But I'm down to one bike right now, and I never want to see this on anybody's channel, trying to refresh it after sitting for 20 or 30 years. That bad boy, which I will be getting back to. I do have some more videos I've done on the motor sitting over in the corner. I will get back to the Mercedes here as soon as I finish all of the basic maintenance, is what I call all this, is basic maintenance when you get a new vehicle. So I'll get this thing back up and running here shortly. And of course, the E93 over there that I bought for my son. Heck, you know what? I'm a lover of everything. This little Kia as well, love it to death. Little EV6, let me tell you what. Never been in a vehicle that accelerates that hard. But anyway, just wanted to drop that little anecdote on you guys. So I've had this vehicle for about, well, not even a month, but I've done about 500 miles on it. So I'm getting familiar with kind of what it's doing, how it runs, all of its little quirks and features, I guess. And we're getting a lot of the stuff sorted out, and I got a bunch of videos that'll be coming out your way here pretty soon. Things like a coolant flush. I think it took 4 gallons of Mopar coolant. I did a full transmission service on it after screwing up the wrong fluid, putting the wrong fluid in, and I'll show you exactly what happened with that. And I ended up getting, on the flush that I did, which is really quite simple. I don't know why more people don't do it, but 3 gallons and 1 quart is what I ended up getting out of the transmission, the torque converter, and the cooler. I get a lot of mileage, can be a problem sometimes with that. However, I didn't have much of a choice since I had the wrong fluid in there, and I'll explain that in a later video. I did an oil change, and I've realized that my oil pan is leaking pretty bad. I'm gonna have to try to postpone that at least to get some mileage out of the 3 gallons of oil that takes by itself. I did the fuel filters, the rear and the front one. There's all the videos coming out on all of these here pretty soon. And what else? Little things like the tail light. I'll show you the tail light real quick. I found a really inexpensive one. Looks OEM, but on the LEDs, there are 4 yeah, eight individual LEDs, 4 here and 4 here, that light up your tail and brake lights. And my blinker was going super fast, and it was saying I had a right rear tail light failure, even though it was perfectly slow out here, and in the right front was perfectly slow. My mirror was still going super fast, and the relay was clicking really, really fast in the cab, and it was just annoying. Plus the caution message that was on all the time. So I sorted that out with a new tail light. Took it a minute, but it recognized it and had no more problems with it. I do have one of my 3 lights under here is out, so I need to fix that as well. I think it's this one over here. Yeah, 1, 2, and then 3rd one. It's the wire's broken behind that, so I'll have to sort that yet. And I am going for the 4 recalls that the vehicle has that are outstanding on it still. One of the recalls is a reprogramming of the software. Another recall is something to do with the front wheel studs. The drag link is a problem on this vehicle as well. And it was something else. I don't know, I'll get back to you. But I'll drop that off today for an appointment next week. It took me about a month to get that appointment. As far as the interior goes, everything seems to be working pretty well. I am going to also do the EGR service on that today. But right now, what I've been working on, a little before and after. So what I hate is the way that looks. It's just gross. Nobody's ever taken care of the hub. I don't know if you can see how much rust is actually in there, but it's supposed to be aluminum color in between all those lugs. So we'll get that sorted out. I already did the right side, and I got to tell you, it was disgusting. The inside steel wheel was rusted, as well as the hub pretty badly. So when I take this one out, I'm expecting the same. So I'll have that running here momentarily. But we're just going to get this wheel off and get it sorted out. So stick with me. And oh yeah, one other thing I did get. I was missing 3 of those plugs, and the ones that didn't have those plugs on them were absolutely filled with garbage, dirt, mud, acorns, just stuff designed to rust out the back of your truck. So these were 20 bucks off of Amazon. You can't go wrong with that stuff to make it look, you know, brand new again and protect whatever you got going on underneath. So anyway, let's get back to it. Yeah, that's just gross. Alright, so that's one. Seen worse, that's for sure. Let's see what the inside wheel looks like. Yeah, that's just gross. It just takes, you know, an hour or 2 to sort all this stuff out, and you don't have to worry about it. But my brakes look good. Nothing to really worry about with those. They don't pulse. There's plenty of meat left. Oh, and I also did a brake flush. That's done as well. I'll show you how to do that with a scan tool. once this dries, I'll go back and I'll wire brush the threads off again. And yeah, I should have no problems. Let's see the transformation here before. Let's see if it actually takes some of this stuff off. Well, it does. And I turned my compressor off, so. While those dry, that has been ground down a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean like half the, not even half the width of a hair, just enough to get the surface scuzz, brake dust, and grime off of there. But she's looking good. So I'll take them up to my wash rack and we'll clean everything up. Well, bad lighting, but here we go. I put a little bit of copper NICs on there. I mean, this whole first inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch anyway, all it does is support the wheels. So there's no screws going down that far anyway. A lot of moisture was getting in there and rusting it up. So a little extra protection on that. I'm hoping it doesn't, you know, fling out once it gets hot. We'll see. And then, ta-da, looks good. I mean, a hell of a lot better than it did before. Knocked a little bit of dust off the caliper, but nothing major. Everything else in here looks really nice. I'll probably end up undercoating this at some point. There's some bare metal up on the top, but it still looks awesome. So that's done. And then, to try to get a little bit more of the black out of the way, I did, and I can't really notice it that much, but I did spray this section here with some ceramic coated silver, just to kind of take out a little more of the dark spots. And then that wheel looks awesome inside and out. I put a little green etch primer in there, so if you squint when this is in place, you might not even be able to notice. It should look really good. And I'm wishing I did that on this side. You can see some of the black and the ring around, etc. So we'll see how this side compares to the other. And if this looks that much worse than the other side, I'm just going to clean up these wheels a little bit with some light ceramic silver and squint more often. Anyway, I'll give you a final video, final edit here in a second. And this is my after. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but it is a lot better than what it was, that's for sure. And we'll get to the hub here in a minute. Even the lug nuts were done. Just enough to keep the rust off. Also wanted to just knock out a little bit of the rust that was starting to form. So the surface rust on the inside, wherever it was rubbing the metal raw. So I'll let that dry for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll put some black and chassis paint on it. Make it look brand new. Oh man, so worth doing. That looks so much better. I mean, even from 5 feet away. You can still see a little bit of a ring where I didn't lay it on thick, but it's a very skim coat, light coat I put on there. Man, that looks so much better. Looks like someone cares. Sometimes the details, all that really matter. That looks brand new again. All right. Very happy. What I want to get to is cleaning the EGR valve. I hear it's a pretty simple thing to do. Minimal tools, a couple gaskets, and you put it right back in and fire it up and you're done. So we'll get to I guess what would you call that? the who's and hows, the hows and who's. I don't know. We're gonna go do it. So here in the bay of the 6.7 diesel, EGR valve, EGR motor, we're gonna take this cover off. I added that bolt because it was already missing from whatever else was done before. So we'll get this 10 out and get these 3/8 out, remove this cover. Then we've got access. Here's the bolt here for the clamp. And then there should be 4 10 mils. And this should declip here, and then it just pops off. And then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of it. Yeah, we'll go with nuts and bolts of cleaning it out. Well, that's worth an effort. How about that? So much for adapters, huh? Well, while I got your attention on this clip, make sure you pull the red tab out first. And then what you can't see unless you get awkwardly uncomfortable, just this whole back end is the button. So pull this out towards the fan and then get the button. This one, there's no red tab. So you just push the big button right there and it'll come out. But time to get serious, apparently. What do you bet I'm going to do before this goes back together? Yep. I'm going to tap all of those holes again. Definitely needs it.
That one actually looks like an 11. That should be enough to get the clamp off. I love that. Come on, baby. Oh, she is not playing around.
There we go. Okay. Dropped another one. That's cool. There we go. And there it is. It's that simple. Let's see how sooty this thing is in the daylight. Yeah, it's not terrible. I don't know if it's ever been done, but it's not terrible. I'm going to take this the extra mile. I'm going to take off the motor as well and clean the spring out. Make sure that plunger works nice and smoothly. I'm not going to release that side. So, part one, done. And pay attention to this. You don't have to take the bolt all the way out. It's got the little T head on the end of it right here. If I can find it. So it'll just pop in and out the groove back there. And you can just let that sit. Make sure you give this a good once over. Get the gaskets off, re-clean those. I'm going to tap those while I'm waiting for the degreaser to kind of degrease or break down the carbon in here. So let's get that moving now. also want to get this thing apart because, look at this. This is god awful. So we're going to clean that up. And I do have some ceramic paint I could put on there. However, it is silver. I don't know if I want to go silver or make it black yet. I think I have both. Heck, I can go nuts because I got yellow caliper paint as well. So, here's the gasket, little metal paper gasket. Be very clean or delicate with that. I don't want to get anything on here. I might just brush this dry. Do not get anything, any liquid whatsoever inside the motor here. It will create havoc. So, but this bad boy, it's non-directional, but you can see what side went towards the engine. And then in here, just like on a valve body, a valve train, a lot of them, you got the little keepers. So I'm going to pop this out with a not very strong magnet. Use some maybe a needle nose, or I don't know. We'll see. Get free with your fingers. Doesn't seem like it wants to release. It's not a lot of pressure. There it comes. Just a little bit of downforce, honestly. Boy, this doesn't bode well for putting it back together, does it? There's one, I think. Yep, there's one keeper. And the other one, released. All right, so clearly the worst part of this is going to be trying to put this back together. Oh, yeah, kind of sooty. Yuck. All right, well, whatever you do, don't let these fly across the shop. The spring, non-directional, but there is a lot of soot in here, honestly. So I'm glad we're doing it. I'm going to take the die grinder real quick and just run over this surface, and then throw it in a degreaser, and we'll see if we can get this thing cleaned up. Get this gasket off yet here. There it goes. See what that does for me. So as you can see, it's got some of the old material from the old gasket still on there. This is cast iron. You're not going to hurt it, so you can be kind of aggressive as you want to, I guess. Let's go back to something less aggressive and just polish it out a little bit, I guess. Here's an old pad I used. just buff it out a little bit better. And there we go. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll put that thing in the parts washer and then we'll go from there. Now this, I will take probably some maybe 600 grit sandpaper and get this thing nice and smooth again. And then we'll call that done. But I'll do that once this has soaked. So it's been about a half hour and this thing is moving effortlessly now. But while that was doing that, I did get this gasket smoothing down a little bit. So she's ready to go. The spring is ready to go. The motor is ready to go. I think the last thing I'm gonna do is clean up the actual EGR valve and put some color to it. Gaskets are off and it is sanded down. I ended up using just a regular razor blade very gently, and then I took 400 grit and sanded that off. I'm out of brake fluid or brake cleaner, so I'm gonna end up just using some acetone or something to clean the surface. But I should be ready to go. And these birds have decided, where is he? I hear him, he's back there. But up there, it seems every year they build a nest in that corner, regardless of my best attempts to keep them out. Where are you at? No? Suckers. There's 2 of them that have been in and out about a dozen times already in the last 2 hours. He's up there somewhere. Getting back to this, I got these from Rock Auto. I think these were $4 a piece. And then this was $3 or $4, I don't remember. Very inexpensive, decent quality. So for less than $20 delivered, you can do your EGR valve yourself. I think that Purple Power I got it at Walmart for like $7. So this is a really simple job you can do on your own. Don't farm this out to somebody else. This is just too easy. Again, just basic maintenance on a diesel apparently. Okay, I gotta tell you. Wait, how you say? I gotta tell you. She's a lot nicer than what it was before. It's silver on the bottom too, I had no idea. And this valve, effortless now. Just rolls. See? Now the fun part. Now I got to put that thing back together. So we'll see how long this video is going to take. Okay. Spring goes in. I wonder if I put these in here first. It may make it easier. Let me get some needle nose. Maybe a little more control would help. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put something in here to lock this valve in place. There we go, screwdriver. That'll hold it in place. It ain't going far. So, now, ooh, there it is. Oh, so close. Come on, I got one in already. Ugh. That seems to be the right way to do this. Ugh. Boy, that is just working too easy. Hey, we're in. Nice. Make sure everything feels good. Just making sure. That's all I'm doing right now. Yeah. Feels good to me. All right, so that's done. Now I'm going to tape off these three ends. I'm going to go maybe wire brush this thing down, tape it off, and then we're going to put some paint on it. I don't know what color yet. We'll be surprised together. All right, she is sanded enough. What I'm going to do now is just some love taps to clean the edges. And do that one more time. You get the idea. Okay, she's all ready for a close-up. So this one, that one was a bit of a bear, actually. I had to tap it, and I thought I was going to break my tap. The screw that I took out, the threads on the end of it were pretty tore up, and I have no idea how or why, because this, I don't know, maybe it's been done before, but I don't know, honestly. But I re-tapped it out. These are 8x125s. And my little kit, anyway. It was that bad boy, I believe. And then I chased all the screws as well. They all go down effortlessly now, no issues. So, screws are good. Gaskets are waiting for some paint to dry. And we'll put this thing back together here. I've walked down here probably a dozen times today. And if you were wondering why I have a pile of garbage on my desk, it's because I keep forgetting to bring down garbage bag. So simple. Getting back to this. There's my color. Yep, silver, not a metallic, but it is a ceramic paint. So it should hold the color pretty well. I'll let you know how it works out. And the birds are back. I hear them. Ta-da! ready to be put back together. All right, orientation. Yep, that's the right way. Put the gasket in, put the nuts in. Really easy stuff. So there's no reason why anybody has to have this done at the dealership. I mean, it's relaxing. I call it therapeutic even. Just calming when things go the right way. As you know, it can be amazingly stressful when things don't go the right way. Bird, don't make me. They're not going to like it when I close the garage door and they're not in here. Again, one of the big problems people do is they over tighten everything. Doesn't have to be super tight. You don't go until you're about to strip the threads. So anyway, she's back on. I'll clean this off a little bit and we'll get her bolted up. All right, last little bit. Little acetone. Look at that, it looked clean, didn't it? Ugh, terrible. Better. So that's done. I'll prep the surface of the EGR valve itself. And we'll do that again. That's better. All set. And if I were you, I wouldn't try to reuse the gaskets. There's just no point. I mean, the things are, I think it was like $18 delivered. Now I know if you want to go get them from the dealership, they're probably $20 a piece. Actually, let me see something first. See, this has got a shape to it. Nope, no shape, just a round pipe. So that's it. Well, that was the gasket. Time to go get that one. At least it didn't go far. Let me go find that gasket. Okay, gasket is found. It is in there, perfectly centered. Got the clamp back on. We'll snug this down. Okay, so 27 Newton meters, 20 foot-pounds. I'll just do this nice and slow. Birdie, don't shit in my car. It just feels like that's too much. I'm gonna stop there. Just because I want to feel it with a normal wrench. Oh yeah, that's plenty tight. Okay, so it will suffice. Click. I don't know why everybody has to say that. Click, click. There should be a snick. Well, that's it. She's back together. I will fire it up just to make sure it still runs, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. Okay, she's all buttoned up. Everything sounds perfect on it. No lights, no nothing. So she's running smooth, and that's about it. I think this weekend I'll drop it off over at the dealership for its appointment next week to take care of those recalls, and I think that's going to be it for today. Anyway, I got some more videos that are already done, but I wanted to get this one out first. Expect those to be coming out to you guys soon. So I am Derek. This is 4 in Tune. See you next time.